Let's play a game, boys and girls. Anybody that knows me can tell you that I am a fan of doing so. So what should we play? How about we play cause and effect? Let's look at some information, our cause, and see what the results of belief in that information lead to, our effect. Sounds like fun, right? Let's get started. We'll use 2 questions for this little exercise, and here's the first one. If there is no God, then what does it mean to us and about us? Let's look at the effects of having this hypothetical cause. Number 1. If there is no God, then you are just an animal like any other in our world. Anyone that has attended public schools or been exposed to secular science has already been told this many times. This would mean that like all other animals, your only aim in life should be self-preservation. Don't worry about your fellow man, because like all other animals, you will die and be forgotten by history in time. You should just try and live as long as you can without being eaten by the other animals. Number 2. If there is no biblical God, then you have no way of establishing self-value. In other words, you are worthless. In a world without God, you can't tell me or anyone else that your accomplishments give you value. It doesn't matter how many books you've written, or canned food drives you've sponsored, or number of old ladies you've helped across the street. You can't show your merit badges and expect me and the rest of the world's inhabitants to acknowledge you have value. Even if you found people who agreed with you in saying your life has value, you still can't definitively prove that to be true. Why? Because you don't have enough authority. No human or collection of humans does. Especially if you're just some animal whose ancestor oozed out of a slime pit by winning the genetic lottery an innumerable amount of times. Number 3. If there is no God, then there is no such thing as right or wrong. This is because, as I've just stated, you don't have enough authority to tell me that I am correct or incorrect in any subject. Regardless of how many laws are created and enforced, no one has enough authority or proof to say that anything is definitively right or wrong. This means that I should be able to run over people with a bulldozer and not be punished in any way. I shouldn't give any more thought about crushing you or your friends or family than I would an insect on the pavement. If there is no right or wrong, then I should be blameless. If it seemed right to me, that's all that should matter. Not to mention, how can a bunch of worthless animals come up with rules and tell another worthless animal that he needs to obey? Number 4. If you say there is no God, then you are a purveyor of destruction. Without a sense of right or wrong, people do what's in their best interest. And what's in our best interest is often not in the best interest of others. You're giving them the green flag to be destructive to themselves and everyone around them. This never creates utopias. Rather, it leads to ruin and turmoil. Always. Man's laws have never created a perfect or even semi-perfect society, and they never will. This is why it says in Deuteronomy 30:19, "This day I call the heavens and the earth as a witness against you, that I have set before you life and death, blessings and curses. Now choose life, so that you and your children may live." So, there you have it. Not a very nice game, was it? How about we close with a recap and a comparison? If there is no God, then you are just an animal. You and everyone you know are completely worthless. Nothing is right or wrong. And you are an agent of chaos because you agree that there is no absolute authority. Contrarily, if there is a God, and I assure you there is, then you are not an animal, but are rather made in his image and given dominion over all the creatures of the earth. You have worth because he says you have worth, and created you unique among all mankind. There is definitely such a thing as right or wrong because he says so, and has all the authority needed to distinguish what is correct or incorrect. And finally, you are called to be a help to others and love them as you would love yourself. All this being said, stop and carefully consider what I have shown you. Don't be taken captive by the self-destructive philosophies of the world. Listen to God. Choose life. Until next time. Deuteronomy. Deuteronomy. That's funny.